Well, everybody, good evening. How's everybody doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good.
Awesome. Okay, okay, Mike, introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's me, Mike, and you can find me at OnePride_JR.
Rux.
What's up, guys? It's Rux. You guys can find me at RickspinDET on Twitter.
And everybody, you can find me. I'm Chris at Crazy Hockey Fan on Twitter. So, how's everybody doing tonight? You had a good day?
Hey, good so far with this Tigers. They still up.
Same.
Yeah, Tigers are doing pretty well today. That's not too bad. So let's recap. Let's recap the Boston Tiger series. How about that?
Sounds
All
good.
right.
All right. Whoever wants to go first, go right ahead.
You can go, Russ.
You know, I like the way we came out this series. I thought we needed to have another solid series to build on after the Blue Jays and after the Pirates series, And I just felt like the hitting was there for most of the series. We did lose. Let me see here real quick. We did lose the one game 7-3, but we started off with that 5-0 shutout. I like the way Baez has been playing with runners and scoring position, especially that series. The pitching was good for the most part, and for my prediction from last show to split this, take 3 or 4 games out of this, and split 2 is still fine after what we did against the Pirates and whatnot. So successful series. I'm glad we split and like the way we played for the most part.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like before going into the series, I think we were all saying we at least want to split, which we got, and we were saying the series. Who did we play before them? Because we had like a double header, right?
Pirates.
Pirates.
Skiing.
We were saying it was,
Yep.
Right. We were saying it was most likely going to be a split in that because the second game was skiing. So, hey, we came out as we said we would be. What's that? It's 3-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
going on the road, man, splitting is great. It would have been great to get 3 wins, but hey, it shook out how it shook out, and I'm not mad at it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. We got the split. We got the split in the series. I do believe that's I think this is a series that Colt Keith got his first career home run too as well.
Yes, sir.
And lo and behold, we had a walk off. We had a walk off home run as well. I love the series. So I noticed when I looked at our stats. Now our pitching has fallen a little bit. We've fallen from top 5 to top. I think we're top 10. However, our batting average has gone from bottom 5 to now we're up to 11 from the bottom. So we've moved up like 5 or 6 spots in batting. So it looks pretty good. So the pitching or the hitting has countered the pitching. So it looks pretty good right now. So I like the effort that we've put in forth so far.
Yep, I agree. Like
I agree as well.
The pitching is still good, but like you said, it has fallen a little bit. But the hitting has come up with it, so I'll take it, man. If we get a little bit better hitting and a little bit less pitching, even though our pitching is still phenomenal, in my opinion, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it all day. I mean, we're gonna have like what's it called? Little waves where we're
Right.
gonna have good pitching and bad hitting. We're gonna have good batting and bad pitching, and there's gonna be fluctuations all the time. Sometimes it'll all come together one day. Some days it won't come together at all. It's just, I mean, we're at a 50% mark, which isn't bad. I think we're 4 games out of first or out of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's still fine. We could still get right back in there.
Yep, exactly. If we
Stay
get
competitive.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Next question, you guys. The promotion of Justin Mallory, and how does it help the Tigers?
Hey, we just got another solo home run.
Did we really? Who?
Riley Green.
Man, he's on a tear right now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a hit. Now, if that's true, then that's 6 consecutive games that he's had a hit.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Run
That's
support.
awesome.
Gotta love it, man.
Yeah. So with Mallory, how do we feel? How do you think he's going to do with the Tigers? How do you think they're going to incorporate him, and how does this benefit the Tigers?
You want to take this one, Mike?
All right. I think it benefits because we were talking like before the hitting started picking up. That was the thing we were ragging on the most is the hitting. Like we got to get more hits. We got to get more people on base, and we got to get when they're on base, we got to get them in the scoring position and get them in. So I think he helps with that because that's what he's supposed to be. Was originally in the infield, but they made him an outfielder. I guess his defense wasn't up to par, but his bat has always been there, and it's not just power because he does have power, but had a solid average, and he walked a lot in the minor leagues. So hopefully he can bring that up to the major leagues. And I like Hint saying he's going to give him ample opportunity to hit. So it's not going to be a guy to just stash and make pinch hit here and there or give a spot start here and there. So I like it.
I agree with everything Mike said. I just feel like he brings youth to this lineup. He brings a lot of pop in his bat, which, as we talked, like he just said, we need hits, we need home runs, we need runs. I really like what he's been doing in Toledo the past few seasons and his progress. I think it was the right time for a call up, especially with how Torque's been playing. And let's give this guy a chance, and he's got a lot of potential.
Yep. And I agree as well. He's right at the right age, 24 years of age. He does have a lot. I will agree he does have he still has problems with defense, and that's why they put him in DH. So tonight and last night is when they put him for DH. I think they're going to kind of do the same approach that they did with Colt Keith, though. I think they're going to have him play a lot of DH, and then there'll be games when he's off. He'll be a pinch hitter a lot, trying to bring him into the game slowly through that method. That's my opinion.
I agree. And I think it's good that we have him in a DH slot right now because, as you guys know, Kerry Carpenter's down and he's probably going to be out for the rest of the season. So to slide a guy right into that spot and get that position filled and, bring pop to the lineup is much needed. I'm glad we got him up. Yeah, definitely. Okay, here's a big topic that just hit. The rise and fall of Spencer Torkelson. So how do we feel about the demotion? Do you think it'll help? Do you think it'll hurt him, his confidence? What do you think? You
know what, Chris? I think you should go with that first. I know.
I know. Yeah. So I was waiting for you guys to say something like that. So this is the guy that from the beginning, I thought he was brought up way too early. I thought he was brought up a season too early, and that's what happened. He ended up batting like 119 his first season until they sent him right back down to the minors towards the end of the season, and then they brought him back up the following season, and it took him a long time, but he finally got a little rhythm, and he batted very well. Ended up with 31 home runs last year. Batted probably like 240, I would want to say, maybe 230. And it looked like he was on the rise. But coming after those first few weeks in this season, he looked terrible. Even you mentioned, Mike, even though I was on the train, I wanted him to do well. You were like, hey, this guy I can't hold him any more accountable than I can Javier Baez. And you were right. You can't hold, you have to hold him accountable. And he needed to be sent down. I know that Hinch really likes the guy, but just because he's your son doesn't mean you have to keep him. You have to send him down. You have to give him proper treatment. He has to go down. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. He needs to learn. He needs to be somebody's got to tell him, and he's got to learn how to adjust his swings, adjust everything in order to get the proper to any sport. If you want to excel, you can't stay the same. You always have to make minor adjustments along the way. Because even when he makes a minor adjustment, and let's say his swing returns, that doesn't mean pitchers doesn't mean pitchers won't acclimate to that, and then he'll have to change again. So that's a continued process. He's going to have to learn that.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's going to have to be open to coaching because some of the stuff we've been seeing coming out, some of the stuff people been writing about is it doesn't look like he's been open for the most part when it comes to changing stuff in his swing and setup and all that type of things that he needs. Like you have to be open to it. Like that's the only way it's going to change. Like if you're going to stay the same and you're still struggling, you're not getting any results out of it. How is it going to turn from negative to a positive?
Right. And the thing I kind of want to add to this is here's a guy who's been in the league for what now, 3 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was drafted 1 of 1 during the COVID year. This guy is supposed to be the face of the Detroit Tigers franchise. This was the guy that really bad, over 100 loss year, and then we got Casey Mize. I mean, it is so frustrating to look at my screen and see this topic. This guy should be performing way better than he has, and he's so talented that, you know what, we can send him down, and he's so talented that I feel like he could do damage down there and all that. But I really don't think, I feel like we should keep him down for a while, a few weeks to months, because what's the point of sending him down for a week for him to demolish hitting or just to be okay and bring him back up? This guy needs to either change his plate discipline. You know, maybe he has to change. I like his swing, but he still needs to be more disciplined. He needs, like Mike said and you said, he needs to be more open to coaching. Just because you are 1 of 1 and you have all the potential in the world doesn't mean that you don't have to change for nobody. It will help your game and it will help the team. He just needs to be better. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I absolutely agree with all you guys. I mean, it's not your talent can only take you so far. That's with any sports, any player, period. And you're right. It does hurt me to see that he had to be sent back down, but sometimes things happen. You have to do something. And you're right, Rux. I don't want to see him back up here in 2 weeks. I don't care. I don't care if he hits like Mike said beforehand, if he hits 5 home runs in one night, I don't care. Like he needs consistency. He also needs, the minors needs tape on him so they can see how to pitch to him. I want to see him adjust to pitching, so just because he tears it up in a couple of weeks or so, that's great. This is the first time those pitchers are seeing you. Let them get a little tape on you and see. I know they have it in the majors, but I don't know if they look at that all the time. So
he needs to prove he can be a mainstay, and he needs to prove that he can be an everyday major leaguer and make those changes at every at bat, and not just keep swinging for the same stuff and sitting on the fastball. You need to be ready to hit the sinker, the curveball. You got to be ready for it all. He needs to, more play discipline. But I 100% agree with both of you.
Yeah, I agree with it. Rux's point too, with him needing to stay down there. But I saw a quote. Can't remember where I saw it from Hinch. It sounded like he said he was going to be up soon. Like he's expecting him to be up soon. But I don't think that's the best idea. I agree with both of you guys.
Hinch just has something about him, man. It's a love affair or something like that.
He sees the one thing I will say in the same article I was reading, he credits on his work ethic. He says he's working hard. He has a good mind and everything about it, mind for the game, but it's just not clicking hitting wise. So he said he's doing a lot of things that people don't see behind the scenes in the correct way, but it's just not translating to the field as far as getting on the base and getting balls out the ballpark.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's one more thing I want to add. We're not being negative just to be negative. This is just what it is. And I still think Torkelson can be that guy. Is it going to take him a little more time than we thought? Sure. But he's facing adversity right now. And I believe he can piece it together and be an everyday major leaguer and a big part of our core for the future.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think he should. I think he'll come around. I absolutely do. I'm going to have faith in the fact that he can do that. Because I think being sent down is going to be a real shocker for him. It's going to be totally different. I'm sure he thinks he does not belong down there. And so he's going to work his way to get back. I believe he's going to work hard and get there. So, I mean, hopefully it'll be better for the Detroit Tigers if he does, because if that can be a mainstay, then that'd be great.
Right. And he has it. He does have it. You know, you can't randomly hit over 30 home runs one year and just disappear the rest of your career. You know, he's got that power bat.
Well, ask Brady Anderson that from
unless if you're roiding,
Brady Anderson. Brady Anderson, 50 home runs, never prior close. I think, what was it? No more than 15 or something. After like that, there was no more than 15.
Orioles legend. So,
yeah, definitely. So we'll move on to our next topic. Our next topic is the emergence of Colt Keith, and I don't say it like, oh my gosh, he's hitting the cover off the ball. It's like he's had like 15 home runs. You know, it's not like that. It's just the fact that his progression has gone a lot faster than I thought it would. How do you guys feel?
I agree. Like, and nobody's saying he's an all-star or nothing like that, but I think he is getting more comfortable. And shouted him out earlier, not in this episode, but earlier in like spaces and our DMs, and I think one of the episodes we did on this show. Like, his defense, props to his defense too. Like, looking up some of his advanced metrics, like his outs above average, or what is it? What is OAA? Is that it? Outs. Let me see.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I was right. Outs above average. Like, he's doing well in that category too. So he's. I thought his defensive game would be like a negative. I thought it'd be a negative or a standstill, but he's been doing pretty solid out there when he is on the base.
Yeah, his coming up, his defense wasn't his specialty.
Right. It wasn't his suit. They were having a lot of question marks about his defense coming up.
Yep. And I'm sure he's probably worked on it as he's been up here, so it's given him an opportunity to do so. So, I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of hits recently, but just the way he's playing the game has been a lot better. A lot better.
All right. And thing I'd like to add to that also is, you know, I said it at the last show, and we were still in May, but now that May has ended and it's June, I can officially say he had a fantastic May. I mean, he was hitting the ball. He played solid defense. You know, obviously, like we said, April, you know, it was a struggle. You're getting used to the bigs. You're going to face the adversity. But, you know, he had a great May, and I want to see him build on that here in June. But so far, I've liked the way it's going for him. And congratulations to him on hitting that first career Major League home run in that game against Boston in Fenway.
Yep. Okay. So our next topic that we're going to discuss here is who we think could be the core guys going forward on the Tigers. Just in a random thought, because obviously we can't predict who they're going to trade for or who they're going to get in the offseason, but just the roster we have. Maybe you can include some of the minor league players if you wanted to, but Rux, what do you think? Who do you think going forward?
I'll go with 3 right now. I'll go with Riley Green. I'll go with Reese Olson. And I'll go with Perez. I just think these guys can hit. It doesn't mean they have to be superstars, but these are guys that can consistently be healthy, be in the lineup, hit the ball consistently, make some fine defensive plays, especially when you're talking about Riley Green with all them, you know, jumping on the wall, diving saves and all that. You know, I think they don't have to be superstars necessarily, but really good players. And I can definitely see those 3 being in the core, unless if we trade Reese. But, you know, I will officially say he'll be a part of the future once we extend him or not. So, but those are my 3.
That's a solid. I will say Riley Green for sure is on mine. I'm gonna go pitching. I'm gonna go with Reese, and then you got to throw Scuba in there too. Like, I think It depends, like where we stay in the race. I know we're in the race in the wild card. We're probably about like 3 or 4 games, somewhere around there. If we stay there and we need to add another batter or two, then we might have to give up some pitching. But I'm kind of hoping we keep Reese. I don't know about you two, but what would you do? Would you guys trade him?
No, I want to keep him, but if the haul is there, take it. But
unless it's something extremely like phenomenal, sure. But if it's somebody that's just solid or somebody that's above average, I'd rather keep Reese on the mound. But yeah, I'm gonna go Reese, Skubal, Green, and then I'm gonna throw another guy in there that's been playing well, has been hitting well. His batting average is up there right now too. Is Matt Verlaine, man? He's playing some good baseball, man. I didn't know what to really I didn't know what to really expect him because he was always inconsistent. Like sometimes he would look decent, other times he would look like he should be a core part of the team. But if he keep playing like this, I think he's gonna make himself into being one of those core pieces.
Yeah, I'd have to agree on most of the guys you guys are talking about. Definitely want to keep Skubal and Olsen, and definitely Riley Green. I do want to make a case for who is it that I was going to make a case for? I'd definitely make a case for
Kerry Carpenter.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I would make a case.
Even Verling, I would definitely want him. He is our most consistent hitter. So if I could only pick 3, then it would be definitely it would have to be Skubal, Reese Olsen, because our pitching staff is what we need to keep.
Absolutely.
And Kerry Carpenter, definitely. I mean, obviously Riley Green's going to be there, but I definitely got for some way we got to keep Carpenter. I think Carpenter is just too consistent. That way we have two hitters, 2 pitchers. There's your core, core guys from there.
To add to that, even though if we were to trade Reese, I don't panic. This Chris Fetter, what he's done with our bullpen these past few years has been short of nothing but amazing. I mean, we're developing guys. Who was it? Was it Mason? It was Mason Engler last season who we claimed off waivers, and he had under 2 ERA for most of the season. I mean, it sucks, but you can keep guys and you can trade guys, but as long as we have Chris Fetter as our pitching coach, I am confident we will still develop good pitching.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, believe it or not, I would actually trade Flattery at the trade deadline if I could. He has got so much. He's got a lot of upside. Either because right now he's only on a 1-year contract. You could trade him
2 year.
Because I'm looking at it right now. It's a signed 1-year, $14 million contract with Detroit.
I thought they signed him to 2. It's only 1.
And so did I. Believe it or not, that's why I looked it up, because I thought it was a 2-year contract, and it actually says 1 year. 1 year, $14 million with an including a $14 million guarantee. So it's a 1-year guaranteed contract.
That was a good signing.
Yeah.
That's a good rental too. If we end up trading him at the deadline, somebody's going to get a damn good pitcher for this latter half of the season. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, if we could trade he's basically a low end 1, and you could trade him, and hopefully you could get a strong bat and maybe a prospect for him. I mean,
right.
So would you guys trade him, or would you want to re-sign him? Because he is still pretty young too for a pitcher.
So that's the thing, because I don't know Skubal's contract, and I think Reese might be a 2-year contract as well, but I'm not sure. But if all of them, like if Reese and Flattery they're both on those 2 years, maybe you can offer contracts to both of them if you're going to keep them and get them long term, because those guys are just phenomenal pitchers.
Skubal's on a 1-year deal, $2.65 million.
Oh wow! So
he's still under control though. Like you still have him under control for the next 2 seasons.
Who you talking about? Skubal?
Yeah, because they still got arbitration on him. So you got arbitration on them for 25 and 26. I'm looking at that.
We avoided arbitration with
Reese,
Skubal, Rogers, and Baду as well. So we got control of those guys as well.
Let me see what they have for Reese. Pre-arbitration for 25, 26. So, I see what you guys are saying. You could probably trade and get a decent bat for him, but he's pitching so well, man. And he's only, 28? I would try to re-sign him.
I don't know about money, but how long? I feel like we should extend Skubal for like 2 or 3, 4 years maybe. He's 27. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to give him like 7 years.
So here's the thing. Skubal's going to earn a good contract just because of how he's playing. So you're probably going to pay him the most out of everybody.
You will. Yep.
Let's say you sign all 3. You're probably going to pay the most out of him. And then then Flattery, then Olsen. I think you can get Olsen on the cheap because he just got good.
Right.
If you sign him to a long-term deal, you can get him on the cheap. And hopefully he continues to build upon the current season. And then you've got your 1, 2, 3 punch at pitching for the next few years. Then you don't have to worry about pitching anymore. You can fill in the other 2 with veteran starters.
Right.
And it's really going to be, you got to fill in one because, we still got Jackson that's coming up, man. He's one of the best prospects in the major leagues.
Absolutely.
So, man, we could look pretty good right there. We could.
That
would be a phenomenal bullpen.
And then you use everything else to fill with some veteran stuff. You need veteran bats that are going to hit, not just to be a bat, but to hit.
Right. Mainstays and guys that are consistent.
Absolutely. Yep. Definitely need those players. Okay, this is the goat. This is the goat for Mike, the yin and yang of Javier Baez.
Hey, Chris, put that comment on the screen.
I'm glad you brought this to my attention. I didn't even know that. His normal batting versus his batting with runners in scoring position, man. I cannot believe this is more phenomenal than the fact that Torkelson was leading the league in doubles.
Yeah, oh man. Funky stats, man. Funky stats.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so backwards like that. Like his regular batting stats are horrible, but with runners in scoring position, he turns into a Hall of Famer, man.
Guys, quit hating. He's clutch. He's clutch. Come on.
And we'll take it, man. If we can't get anything like offensively, we'll take him getting runners at home. We'll take him getting runners in. Like I don't know why it's like that. Because if you look at both numbers and both those scenarios, like they're the exact opposite, 180.
I could not believe when you showed me those stats that that was crazy. I was just like, wow, what is it, like a 390 batting average when he has runners in scoring position?
Which is insane. Sub 400 is crazy. Because his normal batting average, I think it got down to like 188 or something like that. Like
something like 190, 188, something like that.
Yeah, man, to go from 188, 190 to damn near 400 with runners in scoring position is insane to me. But he's not a man.
It's almost like almost all of his hits are with runners in scoring position. Like that's
exactly
that's how much of a difference it is.
Yep, that's how crazy that stat is.
Man,
like this is. Let me look up this thing here. Like, where is he at? Yeah, that's so true. Like at hits, he's where is he at? He's 8th on the team in hits, but then when you go to the RBIs, he's 3rd.
Oh my God, dude.
He's only 4 RBIs short of being in first. You got Kerry Carpenter with the most RBIs, and he's hurt now.
So he'll pass up.
But he has 29 RBIs, and Javi's right behind him at 3rd with 25.
Who's second?
Verling has 28.
Okay.
Verling's coming on strong, though. I think he might pass people. Like I think he'll end up leading the team by the end of the year.
Yes, I was looking up some stuff earlier. Verling is top 3 in runs, hits, and what was the other one? And RBIs.
And you guys want to know something?
That's good. I think he's the biggest.
State.
Yeah, he's done well too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing that not Verlander, but I miss
you gotta
him.
let that X go, man. You gotta let
it go. Some people on Twitter be going crazy. I saw something a couple weeks ago. I think it was a Twitter account that said, yeah, we can get Verlander back and trade Reese Olsen. I'm like, what the fuck?
That was terrible. That was a terrible.
Why would we do
like,
God, just why? Just why would we even do that?
Oh man, to put ass in the seats, I guess.
Man, leave that alone.
Fans just love to be fans, man.
Just like the Stafford stuff, we still had people when we was in the playoffs talking about, or before we got in the playoffs last year, talking about, man, what if Stafford finishes his contract with the Rams and then comes back to the Lions and is our starting quarterback again? Leave that alone. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I would love to know. I would love to know the average of a player returning to the original team after they left in free agency or a trade. I would love to know what the percentage of players that come back. And I don't mean the ones that come back and send like a 2-day contract just to say they retired with the team. I mean, come back, played like a season or two, and then maybe retired.
Yeah.
How many players do that?
You got to remember, Andrew Chafin was on our team in 2022. He left last year. He came back this year, didn't he? I mean, why did we even bring this dude back? I don't know. He you know what? He is a nice dude. He's a cool guy. Love the mustache, but man, we need better outings. But we're supporting you, Chafin.
Yeah, keep it going. I mean, you're starting to get to that thing where I start to itch when they bring you in. Like it's rough. It's a rough out. It just. Yeah,
that Red Sox album was rough. That was rough. I thought he was going to get the game away in that ninth inning.
Chafin.
Yeah.
And
that was tough.
He'll be better. He'll be better.
But yeah, he'll hopefully turn it around.
He's a solid vet. He'll be better.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't. I mean, Lang. That's the one.
Oh God, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. And we don't have to worry about it right now. So
yeah, I know. We don't. I know. Whew. It's rough. All right, let's talk a little bit about who on the season is our unsung hero for the team so far.
I'm gonna have to continue with who I said is playing himself into potentially being one of the core guys. I'm gonna have to go with Matt Verlaine. Yeah, he's definitely one of the unsung heroes. Yeah. Another one would be Reese. I thought Reese would be solid. I didn't think he would be what he is. He's been phenomenal. Like Reese, Verlaine, even the other guys like Ibanez when he gets bats, like he's had some pretty good hits. He has some pretty important hits. Like it's a lot of the guys we could swing it around to. So I'm gonna save some and give you guys an opportunity. Yeah.
He just said half the roster.
The whole team, the whole roster.
Only gave three. I only said 3 people.
I'll have to go with Perez. So out of the guys that we picked up or weren't expecting anything, I'm going to go with Perez, Gino Urshela, and definitely would have to put in what's his name?
Mark Canha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Mark Canha, that's a good one.
Even though he doesn't
get this time,
even though he doesn't get any favorable calls, yes.
That's a good one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Riley Green. We have to go with Riley Green.
Yep.
I would have went with Verlaine, but Mike took him, and that's fine. You know, these are all guys that are been producing for us, so I'd go with Riley Green.
Mm-hmm. It's cool because a lot of your unsung heroes aren't doing it every single night, but they're like what can you call them? They're just the garbage men. Like they're the guys that are just doing the little
work.
Things. Yep. Just coming in, going to work, just doing the job, getting in the run, bunt if you have to. You know,
it's not flashy, but it's getting the job done and getting wins. You know, not every at bat has to be a triple down the line or a home run.
Yeah,
but they're getting it done. So
yeah, and it's nice that we have a lot of unsung heroes, and they don't put it. And that's the thing; they don't put it together all on the same night all the time. Once in a while, they do, but that's why they're unsung heroes because they do it in place of somebody else on any given night. What are you smiling for?
I You just you
He
just
probably
talking,
said
and
some
Mike
crazy.
Mike is over here.
Oh, I know, I
He's
know.
holding them down.
And
Oh,
sponsored by
He's like, he's like, oh shit, man,
He's
Foley's
always-
coming in, bro. We're not fully chaffing.
Hey, you put Foley in right now. I'm probably gonna open two of these at the same time and start
Yeah.
going.
Oh my goodness, great.
Hey,
All
somebody
right.
just hit a double.
Awesome.
I do. Hey,
He's been
another
good. He
one.
cleared the green monster his first game back.
Yeah, he did. He did a
Another one
great
that
job.
came
Who was
these
it?
last couple games.
It was him or Shella, and was it Riley that all cleared the green monster on that first?
There was
game?
three. There were three. You're right. It was Riley Green, I do believe.
Yeah, I remember one of them games. Javi had 3 home runs.
Stop it, Mike.
He had too much to drink. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You got to put this game on now. It's getting really interesting.
Man, yeah, if we can add another run here, it might be it. I think it's trending towards that way now because I think our bullpen is going to lock it down. But
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think
Shut
we're
him
going to
out.
finish up the game.
Shut him
Yep.
out.
Yep. We
but
need.
man, they're playing some good baseball, man. This is fun to see.
Yeah, I like it. I like it when they're hitting consistent in pitching. We don't need like you've said in the past, Mike. we
Marcin
don't
Kelly
need-
just got hit. He just got hit by a pitch, so we got 2 people on base.
You know what? I like the way we're playing right now, but blowouts or whatever, that's fine. But we always use our runs up. The thing I like about what we're playing right now is we're doing enough runs to the point where the pitcher can relax a bit, still be aggressive. Get the 2-1 win, 3-0 win, 4-2 win. Is it close? Sure, but when you allow your pitcher to make one mistake and you can still win.
Yeah,
it feels good, and it didn't feel like that earlier in the season. But now that it's been better these past 3 series, I want to say, it's definitely a breath of fresh air, and I like it.
It is nice to get some runs out the gate. I don't like to play catch up. I can't stand that.
Right.
I mean, even if we can match run for run, that's great. But when you get runs, it tells your pitcher you're okay. We got your back.
Right.
We're going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. And we've been more consistent. It has been up and down. It hasn't been like 14 and then 1 and then 7 or 8 and then 2. Like it's now
stay in that middle ground.
Yeah, I would like if we could stay between like 6 and 7 or like 5 to 7 runs every game or somewhere in between that. That'd be great. If we could just stay consistent like that. I mean, obviously we're not going to win every game, but we should if we can get 5 runs a game.
We could win 90 games if we scored 5 runs a game.
Yeah, we definitely can win tons of games. That's for sure. Okay. And so, player of the week. How do we have for player of the week?
All right, I'm going to go with pitching for mine. I'm going to split it between 2 players. We had 2 starters give phenomenal starts. First start, one of the first starts of the week was Scooble. I think he went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, and then right after him, one of them games was it might have been exactly next game was Flaherty. Like he gave up, he took a no-hitter. Like wow. Like I think 6.1 innings. I think he had only 1 hit, and then they took him out. But he had a no-hitter going through 6 innings, so I got to shout him out into that players of the week too. So I'm gonna let both of them share that.
I'll go with Perez, or not Perez. I'll go with Verlaine in back-to-back weeks. I just feel like this guy has been a staple of what we need and the consistency. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but the consistency, getting on base, hitting the ball, spraying the ball all over the field. I like the way he's playing right now, and I want to say he's really been probably our best. You could argue he's probably been our best player the last 3 or 4 series. So I'll go with Matt Verlaine.
Awesome. And so I'm going with Riley Green. Riley Green is currently, as of tonight, he's on a 6-game hitting streak, and he's moved his average from 232 to a 249 within the last like 10 days. So as most people know, the farther you get into the season, the harder it is to move your average up. It takes a lot more. And so I think he's done very well. Been very consistent over the last like like 10 days or so. So I'm going to give that's my player of the week.
And he homered tonight as well.
Yes, he did homer tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So did whatchamacallit, what's his name? He finally found the ball.
McKinstry.
Yeah, McKinstry finally realized that we actually play with a baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the crazy part is, I was watching on the Texas broadcast, and they were saying he actually against Dunning, he has phenomenal numbers against him. I don't know what he likes about him. I don't know what he likes about him, but his numbers when they were reading it off against that particular pitcher, I was like, wow. So,
that's crazy.
yeah, it is crazy. But they were even joking about it. They said he was hitting 185 before that, and then he all of a sudden hits a 2-run home run. But
Well, it has something. That definitely has something to do with those analytics that they throw out all the time.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, right.
Exactly.
Numbers game.
And it's funny because you'll all of a sudden you'll see like a player that you haven't seen start in like a month,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll go out and then they'll hit well, and you're like, okay, well, I guess that's the reason why they put him out there. But yeah, definitely has more against this pitcher. So, anybody have any final thoughts?
I want to throw a couple more topics.
Okay, that's awesome.
All right, give me 1 second.
I'll add something. I'll add something.
So
you said 1 second. I gave you one. That's all you get.
What I want to throw in is what are we expecting out of Maeda tomorrow, man? Because how long are they going to keep throwing him out there? I know we gave him for sure a 2-year contract. How many
4
more
runs or 4 innings is all I give him. I gave him that the last game. Like I said, 4 innings, and they left him in just one batter too long, and they gave up like 3 runs.
That was Hinch's fault. He left him out to dry.
I know.
Yeah,
I think they should have pulled him though.
I feel like Hinch has a bad game every 4 or 5 games. There's a situation that arrives, and he just doesn't make the right move. He's still a good manager. I like him. It's just there's always, I want to say at least once a week, but there's so many innings and so many games.
There's so many games. I think most of the time he does a good job, but I do agree. Every once in a while he does have like a blunder here and there that you can't question. But Maeda, like tomorrow, like the pitching matchup, it's not that hard. Like the other pitcher has better numbers slightly, but he's not a world beater either. It's Urena, or however you say his name. He was on our team a couple seasons ago.
Who?
Urena?
Yeah, Urena or something like that. Jose Urena.
Oh,
Ruggs.
Yeah, he was horrible on the Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that guy.
He started off in the bullpen this year too. They must be having some injuries or something because he's starting tomorrow. But
we'll break through him.
Yeah.
You got 2 tomatoes on the mound tomorrow. You just gotta see which one get hit the most. So I don't know. But
I think
how many starts though? How many are they gonna let him go like all season like this or
who? Medea?
Yes.
Yeah,
Goodness,
I don't know.
Man.
I think you know what? He's due for a good outing. You guys remember that one outing he had where he
1 and 3.
Yep.
1 and 3. He 1 and 3 outings.
Is due for like 6 innings tomorrow, 7 innings tomorrow, scoreless. 4 hits.
I hope so because he's playing so bad right now. Like I expect
mark it down.
I expect him every 5 starts at this point in the season. I expect him every 5 starts to have a decent outing in 1.5 of those 5 stars.
Most probably lose that.
It's been that bad. So
I believe once he gets through the lineup and he gets into the second round trip of the lineup, that's when they start figuring him out. He doesn't throw enough. His control isn't well enough to throw all over the plate. Like he can't change his location and speed with enough variable to confuse hitters. I think that's the issue.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. Totally agree. He's due for 7 innings tomorrow, scoreless.
Well, I'm going to mark this down. Ruck said 7 innings from Miami.
Ruck's been drinking, y'all.
Now, if we come up, if we're in the 5th inning or 6th inning and we got 14 runs and Miami's giving up 5, they may leave him in just to eat innings.
Yeah, that's true. Why waste an arm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I either jinx them or I'm either right. We'll see.
You never know.
Probably wrong, but whatever. He don't surprise me. So surprise me, please. But yeah.
Mike, you said you had a couple questions. Any more?
But I was just looking up his stats, man. That's the thing. We was bringing him in here because he's supposed to be an innings eater, but he hasn't really even been doing that. The last thing was I forgot what the last thing was. It might have been like the next series because if we win tonight, we win this series.
So and I was I had that as a topic possibility, but we're only in game. We're in like the middle of this series, so I didn't know if that was a good way forward. But the next team we play against, I do believe is the
I think
Brewers.
it's Milwaukee.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good pitching battle right there, fellas.
Yeah, they're solid.
Yeah,
they're solid. But I think on the mound, we have Reese and Scooble.
Former team, Reese.
So yeah, I think we can win that series. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I think we can hopefully take 2 of those games. Maybe
that's a
lose
3
game
set. That's a 3-game set.
Yeah, 3-game set. I think it goes Reese. No, it might be Mize first. Let me see.
No, it is Reese. I'm looking at it. It's Reese and then Mize.
Reese, Mize, Scooble.
But Mize.
All right, we'll take 2. We'll lose the Mize game.
Yeah, because we're playing against Peralta. He's a good pitcher.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have a good record, but he is a good pitcher.
He's like a Reese Olson.
Yeah, his whip is only 1.05. Like his whip's pretty low. He's got a good whip.
You know, I'll tell you what, Mize is hot and cold. Hopefully we'll see more consistency from him, but I'm perfectly fine taking 2 out of 3. I'll take all the series wins we can get this whole season.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, the first game is I mean, just based on this, it's basically 50-50 matchup with Reese Olson. They don't have a pitcher decided to pitch against him. At least
might be a bullpen game for the Brewers.
That's true. And then obviously the Brewers are a huge favorite on with Peralta pitching versus Mize.
Really? Yeah.
And then
whip rate is why.
And then with Scooble, it's just the opposite. We're the huge favorite. So I mean, I could definitely see. Holy cow! I didn't realize Scooble's whip is a .88. That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, so you guys are probably right. It's probably 2. Hopefully we can get 2 out of 3.
And I don't expect us. Who's pitching for us tomorrow? It's Medea. Well, I don't expect a win tomorrow.
Get tomato.
Yeah.
As long as we lock it down tonight, we win the series. So
I'm fine with that. I
don't even care. As long as we win tonight, I don't even care what he does, bro.
If we lose tomorrow, it's fine. But if we take game 1, lose game 2, and take game 3, that's successful right there.
Yeah.
Or just win 2. It don't matter the order. Just win these series.
Yeah, win the series, man. And on the road, man, all I ask for on the road is that you can at least remain 500.
Yeah, exactly. And start playing better at home. I'm tired of this team playing bad at home. We really need to start playing better at home.
Believe it or not, if you look at our record, we're about 50-50 in both places right now.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, though. At home, you got to be better than 50-50.
Right. Well, we started bad at home. Right. That Blue Jays series helped.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're on the right track, though.
I think they are too. I definitely think we're going to stay within striking distance of the wild card the whole season. I think, and we may even hit a nice 10 or 15 games played where we win like 10 out of 5 or something like that, and we'll creep in closer to a wild card spot. Who knows?
That's what we need.
Yep. And once again, we're getting close to the what's it called? The All-Star break. We're getting close to the trade deadline and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll start hearing maybe we're buyers at the deadline. Who knows?
Luis, if you hear me. Luis. So Luis.
Risa.
You can't believe that trade, man. Somebody that can hit that well, man.
I'm not over it. This is coming up on what, 2 weeks now, Mike? 3 weeks now, Mike? I'm not over it.
And he's killing it, man. Man, he stays with multi-hit games, bro. I don't know why we couldn't get in on that. They didn't give up shit to get him.
And Padres, isn't he on the Padres right now? Padres got enough, man. They got Tatis.
They're one of the most disappointing teams every year.
Yeah, they are. They are, but they still got hitting prospects and hitters. Share some of the wealth. Come on now.
Yeah,
But they always fall below expectations. No matter what
they do.
Like,
they should have never let Soto go.
Even when they got Soto on that team, I thought they was going to be up out of here.
Machado is overrated, man. Machado is
yes,
just.
he is.
I'm not a fan of Machado.
He's just a name. That's the problem.
He is. He used to be really good. He's serviceable now, but that contract is pretty brutal. Tatis is young, but he got suspended after that
took a lot out of his sale.
It did. So after he had a great, his rookie year, 2021. I mean, he was mashing the ball. It was Slam Diego.
I had a lot invested in him. I promise you, money-wise, I had a lot invested in him.
He'll be okay.
Yeah. I just wish he would. I need him to bat like in the 300s, and I need him to hit like 30, 40 home runs a year. Like I need him to do something.
I still can see him doing that. He's got a lot.
I didn't even talk about the worst contract they signed. That's Xander Bogaerts signing. Ain't looking good at all.
Yeah,
ain't looking good. He's not looking good at all, man.
No.
Sometimes, are you guys grateful we don't spend sometimes? Shit, man.
Yeah,
no.
Well, we're looking at it this way.
Sometimes.
I mean, look at it this way. Would you rather have an owner that's cheap and never spends, or one that overpays?
That's true.
Which would you rather have?
But does the owner overpay or does the GM overpay?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they gave him 11 years, man. I'm looking at the contract right now. They gave him 11
Bogaerts?
years. Yes, they gave him 11 years.
I didn't know it was 11 years. I knew it was long. I didn't know it was 11 years.
How much is he making each year, or is this year?
Let me pull it up. So 11 years, 280. This year he's making 25. So it looks like he's making 25 straight through, but that's still 11 years, man.
That's bad.
And he's already bad to start off the contract. Like, they were at least hoping that they get at least like 5 years maybe out of this 11-year contract where he's had some great to good production. Like, he hasn't been good at all. And I think he might be hurt because this last
he's banged up a bit.
Yeah, and that's another thing. He's had injuries, but he's only hitting like 220, 219, something like that this year. Let me see. Go back to his stats. Yeah, he's at 219. Yeah, you don't sign no player. Yeah, this is just not good.
At least it's not Baez's contract, so
we didn't give no 11 years. I'm glad. I hope teams get away from that. Like, unless you're like a just flat out superstar.
Stop giving them all them years, yeah.
But they got to the point where they were giving anybody that was just halfway decent all those years, which was crazy to me.
Yeah, it's
thank
cool.
God it ain't the Tigers.
If you can lock in somebody that's a young prospect that's really good, like you see it, yeah, you're probably going to have a couple of brutal years, but hopefully they can play themselves into their contract. That's when you give them. You give them those long-term deals for cheap, and then once they get 10 years down the road, fine, you can go somewhere else. But you've done what we need you to do for 10 years.
Yeah, I'm not with the giving somebody a 10-year contract when they're already 30 or in their 30s.
I agree. I 100% agree. Should be like 3 or 4 at the most.
Yeah, like I think my cutoff would be 25 to, it would be like around 25, 26, somewhere around there. Like, if you're older than that, like if you're 30, 31 already, like, I'm not giving you no 10-year contract. You can go to some other franchise.
And give that Bobby Bonilla contract.
Or what's his name on the Angels? No hablas English.
Angels, oh, wait, who are you talking about?
He was on the Nats. He was on the Nats on their World
Series. They gave all that money. They gave all that money to, right? What's his name? Rodon or something like that?
Rodon or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, you can't just be throwing money around at any and everybody. So, I mean, even though we get mad sometimes when we discuss this, either on this show or not even on this show, sometimes on Twitter, like
Anthony Rendon.
Yes, that's the name. That's definitely the name. even though we get mad at us not spending money here and there, like I'd rather do that than give somebody a crazy ass contract. Even though we do got Javi Baez on the team, but it's not as bad as some of these other contracts these other teams got.
At least his isn't a long-term contract. I think he's got, 3 years left on that or something?
Yeah, after this season, I think he has
Baez.
Yeah, it wasn't a
we
deal.
We are getting something out of him, man. Like I said, he's getting runners on at home with when they're in scoring positions.
Yeah,
that's still a weird ass stat to me. 390 with runners in scoring position is crazy.
It's almost like when you describe a stat. Well, he's great on the road, in a dome, on night games. Like it's like one of those. Like it's just one of those.
It's so crazy. Yeah. Like sub 400 with runners in scoring position and sub 200 with your overall batting average is insane to me.
Yeah, it is definitely something different, but like you said, Mike, we're getting something out of him. At least when we know when we got runners on base, we have a chance. Mm-hmm. He has a chance to put the ball in play.
And we can't knock his other side of the ball too. He still makes some good defensive plays.
Yep.
He did make one error, and I made a motion to that. I was like, he what was it? He dropped the ball or something like that.
Yeah.
Over. Yeah. So I was like, I knew it, but
but most of the time he's solid out there.
Yeah. He's still got his defensive. He's still a defensive prowess. That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about all I got. Those are my 2 topics.
Okay. I gotta put that down.
I don't even know what I said, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a Lions show, but Goff is my quarterback 1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Baez is my number 1. Top athlete in Detroit. So,
yeah, I don't have anything else. Rex, you have anything else?
No, just go win these series. Go win these series. Mash the ball, pitch well, and hopefully next show we come back. We're talking about a bunch of series wins and mashing the ball. So that's all I got to add.
And so to the viewers that are out there watching us live on Twitter and YouTube and anywhere else, thank you for watching. We can't do it without you. Like and subscribe. Once again, without you guys, we couldn't do it. We like coming out here and just talking, mostly because I just like to talk, and Mike likes to comment on all my stuff. So he's got to be right about everything, and I've got to be wrong. It's just the way it goes. But
That's crazy.
Not true. All good guys. But I do like talking to everybody. I do like bringing this to a platform. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this. And I know Mike and Rux have probably done this before, but this is my first time. I love it. Without those guys, I can't do it. So, and I really have to make a mention to Mike, because we've been talking for years, and I have not been so invested in both football and baseball since I've known him, and he's increased my knowledge greatly over the last 3-4 years that we've known each other. So I thank you, Mike, for that. Rux, thanks for the youthful knowledge, and we can continue on with the night and do our thing. But we'll let everybody go. And my guys, tell them where to find you.
All right. Once again, I am Mike. You can find me on Twitter at @1pride_JR. And same goes to Chris, man. Everything he said about me, I can easily say about him. And I was a late bloomer to baseball. Like when I was in high school, in middle school, I was not a baseball guy at all. Like I think I got into baseball when I got out of high school or somewhere around there. So yeah, Chris has taught me a lot when it comes to baseball and in the other sports we talk about as well. So same to you, Chris.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You guys can find me on Twitter at RXBBINDET. All things Tigers and Detroit Fan Report, and I'm grateful to be on this show with both Mike and Chris. I know it's only been a few episodes, but each episode is fun to just yap on about baseball. So appreciate y'all being on here.
And you can find me, Chris, Crazy Hockey Fan on Twitter. And without further ado, we'd like to say thank you, everybody, and have a great evening.